Welcome, FOH, for this week's review of the La Flor de Cano Diademas. It's actually a Churchill, Julieta number 2. But apparently there was a cigar of the same name in the 70s, 80s, same size. I still don't know why it's called a Diadema. But let's call it Julieta number 2. This is a PCC regional release, 2023, Ken. How are you, Ken? You're looking phased. You're looking a bit disheveled.
No, I'm just I'm doing my tax for Artie, so I'm just rushing around. Just a nightmare. Just a nightmare.
I pulled you away from doing tricks on this Easter Monday.
You reckon I couldn't get away quick enough? Sorry, Artie. Blame Rob.
Yeah, blame me. We got a meeting tomorrow, Artie.
Oh dear. Yeah. Didn't Quaba do a diadema?
Yeah, but Quaba is a diadema. That's a shape. That's a size. It's a shape of a cigar. This is not a diadema. This is a parejo.
No. Yeah. No one else that I know did that.
There's a couple of things I don't understand about this cigar. One is they call it a diadema. Okay, yeah, you're going to hark back to something that didn't make sense back then. But the other thing I don't get is why they did a La Flor de Cano. Now, I know I'm a lover of La Flor de Cano. I've always liked La Flor de Cano. But the problem is, you're making 100,000 of these for predominantly an Asian market who doesn't know what a La Flor de Cano is, or really has any interest in a La Flor de Cano. So it was a ballsy move by PCC.
Could it be a long-term plan to revive the brand to once glorious times? This is our chance. We can break into singing glory days now.
No, we're not singing glory days at all.
Did you see the guy that the baseballer that he referred to in the song passed away the other day? No, I didn't see that either.
Oh,
apparently this guy was he can throw the fastball past you, and this guy was one of his mates from school. Who was quite a good baseball player, and he ran into him in a pub many years later, and then that's where the song came from. He wrote the song after sitting in the pub with the.
You obviously confused me for someone who actually cares. I really don't know.
No, at no stage did I do that, but I was going to get it in.
Can you just check the drawer of your La Flor de Cano Diadema, please? A little bit snug, but
mine's a little bit easier than I expected.
Actually, no, that's open up. Just have to squeeze it just under the cap. That's where the little knot is. Not under the cap, under the band, but I've squeezed it twice and it's come good. All right, I'm good. How's yours?
I'm just wondering if Dee's watching this.
Trust me, she doesn't watch these. Thank God. Thank God. Unless I say something and then I've got my little minions like Fuzz, etc., who go and let her know exactly what time on the video that she needs to watch it. Because Rob said something idiotic.
Keep up the good work, Fuzz.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I've made the tiniest punch. I've made the tiniest punch you could imagine, and it's quite coming through.
Beautiful aroma on this cigar. I've noticed this on the ones I've smoked. So La Flor de Cano, you expect it to be light. You expect it to be light and building slightly to a light medium, but it's not going to get much bigger than that, than a light medium.
I wouldn't have thought so. Have you've tried these?
I actually took a box with me to Hong Kong and shared them with all my mates in Hong Kong who would never buy a box of these if their life counted on it. Because in that community there, unless it's really Gahiba, Monte Cristo, or Partagas, they're really not that interested in the circles that I'm in.
Oh, look, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, we have the same in wine. God forbid if it's, not X, Y, or Z. Doesn't matter how good it is. They just don't look at it.
No. All right. Nice opener.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Lovely opening to the cigar.
Yeah.
It's medium. It's just under medium, light medium.
Yeah.
But it's floral and it's soft.
A tiny bit of toast, bit of gingerbread.
Yeah. No, nice opening. I mean, this is the sort of cigar that it's a Churchill, so it needs to take its time to deliver what it's going to deliver. There's no hurry on this.
And look, I mean, I have no idea of the dates and things for this, but if I'd been handed this,
October 24.
you'll see, if I'd been handed this without bands, I'd be thinking this is a much older cigar. It does seem to have a fair amount of development.
I'd call it a very average wrapper. It's not a beautiful wrapper.
Oh no, it looks. Yeah.
It's
We've got
a bit
stuff left over.
It's a bit scungy. It's I've got some watermarks on it, so I didn't take a lot of care in it. There's no real oil to it, although it feels quite nice.
Actually, mine is a little bit oily, but it is a bit wrinkly and bumpy. It's almost like they've looked at this and they've gone, right, those bastards down in Asia Pacific, they keep giving us a hard time. They can have this.
I'll let Dag know.
That'll be you.
Yeah.
That'll be you.
I'll let Dag know. That's what you said. Can go get what are we? 40s. Yeah.
Say hi to Dag.
Bring this. I'm actually. It's got an opening that you actually do want to pull on it because it's.
You hope it
really
continues along these lines.
Yeah, a bit of orange peel there, a little bit of citrus. You don't retrohale. I got that through the retrohale.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Do you really want to see me lying on the ground vomiting green bile?
Yes, I do. In a perverse way.
It's not an attractive sight.
Yeah, I know. We'll be back with you at the end of the first third. First third, Kenny.
It's a very pleasant, thoroughly enjoyable cigar. Yeah,
this is the best one I've had. This is the best one. This is the best one I've had.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the only one I've had, but I'm quite impressed. Is it regional reserve level? Probably. It's not the best regional reserve I've ever had, but it's certainly better than some.
I'm loving that marshmallow note. I'm getting that lovely sweet bakery in there through the retro.
There is a bit of that sort of almost brioche croissant. Brioche croissant for me. Gingerbread. Brioche croissant. It's all going quite well.
Beautiful sweetness to it. Are you getting some sweetness?
It's not a lot, but it's just there. It's just enough to be pleasant.
Light medium. So to me, it started off as a 91 cigar. Yeah, about 91.
Yeah. I'm 91, 92. 91, 92 for me at the moment. And if it continues right through like that, I'll be very happy.
I'd like to see it bring in one more trick in there. I want to see
that'd be good.
Evolve. A bit of evolution, I should say. But love the aroma, love the flavors. The Flor de Cano DNA, absolutely. The touch of complexity in that opening third. And if a cigar's job in that opening third is to introduce itself, it's introduced itself beautifully. And that's all you can ask for.
What you just said is, I think that's not only spot on, but is a great compliment to the cigar and the rollers and that. They've got it right for this.
Yeah. Nice work. See you at the end of the second. Ken's just reminiscing of the great Commanders teams, Redskins teams of the past. Look, that's why he's got a smile on his face. He's in the Super Bowl already for this year. It's all happening. You won the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. Wow.
The start of the dynasty. It's the start of the dynasty.
Yep. And we all know that.
Cigar's looking good.
So second third was good.
Yes, mine had not a major plug, but it had a bit of a problem. I had to relight it a couple of times for a minor plug. Aside from that, it's probably, I mean, you expect cigars to build. This one, I think, is almost coming down more subtle, more elegant, more refined for me.
To me, I don't think it's built much, but it's got richer, if that makes sense. There's a
Yeah.
richness to this. There's a richness to this. There's a Christmas cake sort of richness to it.
Touch of plum pudding.
Yeah. It's good, really good.
Aside from that little hiccup, the second third to me is even better than the first.
Which is what you want. You know, the whole idea is that do we have evolution? We had evolution. Have we got complexity? We got complexity. You've had a small burn issue. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. You know, you couldn't ask any more from the cigar. Now, the Flor de Cano, people say they don't age well. They don't age well. I reckon this thing with 3 or 4 or 5 years would be absolutely dynamite. If it opens up even further, if it opens up all those. We're getting a lot of complexity to the cigar, but to me, a lot of it is still a little bit closed. You know, I'm getting hints of this, hints of that. I'd love to see that expand, but I think it's going to take a bit of time.
One of the things over the years we've done these, we've often said, oh, I'd love to see this in 5 years or 10 years, et cetera, whatever. You should have kept a list and be bringing them back.
I suppose because I see a lot of stuff through Bon Roberts, so I get to taste a lot of stuff over time. Yeah. And we both have decent collections of stock. Most things don't disappoint. You know, some of those key d'Orsay's, the regional that PCC did, they've just come on beautifully. Most of I don't think we've called one wrong in terms of it. There hasn't been.
Very good.
Yeah. But
I mean, if you said to me, I'd like to see this in 10 years, I'd say, and I think it'll look fantastic. Mind you, we'd be sitting here with our Zimmer frames wanting to review it, but
different Vitola, obviously, but the Por Laranaga Encantos was a cigar that when it first came out was good, but we said, it's going to take a few more years. It just found its stride after 5. Just found its stride. And that's what I love about tasting young cigars, because we've now got a marker in our heads. So when we go back and try it in 4 or 5 years, you know. But it also allows you to, if you're smoking young cigars and then you follow the evolution through over the course of the years, when you try another young cigar that's very, very similar in that what it's delivering as a young cigar, automatically you're thinking, yeah, I understand what this is going to be. I have a feeling where it's going to end up.
You can follow the thread.
Yeah. Not necessarily this cigar here. I probably had 6 or 7 of this one. But
it's not a guarantee, but it's probably as close as you can get.
Confident where it's going to finish.
Yeah.
Within 4 or 5 year time frame, you know where it's going to finish, and I'm excited to see where these finish. We'll be back with you at the end of the last third.
Probably hasn't developed anything more this last third, but for what is a young cigar, it's maintained. It's maintained itself. So I'd be sitting 92, 93. I think it elevated itself to that.
It's spot on.
I've not seen it. There's no heat. There's none of that sort of young heat or grubbiness or anything like that coming in. I'm still thoroughly enjoying it.
Now, you want to hear the kicker? $80 duty free
for a box.
They were the days, Ken. They were the days. Wow. $80.
It's the same as Burgundy. It's the same as Burgundy. In the last 5, 8 years or whatever, Burgundy's done exactly the same thing. I actually got someone sent me as a sample a bottle of Charm Chambord and a Grand Cru Burgundy, and Charm's not the greatest of Grand Cru Burgundies, and it's a very good wine, but it's an $800 bottle, but it's come from vines that a winemaker's got hold of, and it's from the vines of a well-known, highly respected producer. They sell theirs for $2,350 for the bottle. Now, God spare me. I mean, really, 800 is, I wouldn't be paying 800, obviously, but
Guys and girls, if this was a $30 cigar,
I can
25,
say
30,
30, maybe 40, but 30, absolutely.
I'd say get all over them. I can put some of these away and thank me in 2028, 9. But at $80 cigar, I'd be putting my money elsewhere. You know,
Problem is the options are narrowing.
PCC had the opportunity here. They priced the cigar. They priced it. So, and they've gone top end of town for it in terms of pricing. And yet you see other regionals from producers, Ken. Sancho Panza recently came out as a regional. I think they're $30, right? So, and I've got a fair idea what the distributors are getting charged for these and for the Sancho Panza and elsewhere. So this was a marketing decision more than anything else. And I think they've called it wrong. They've called this one wrong.
Particularly,
do it once. I mean, pricing is the hardest thing to do in business, is you're getting your pricing right. Because if you get it wrong, it is so hard to come back from. So hard to come back from. And I reckon they've got this one wrong. They've got this one wrong. It's a great cigar. I think it's an excellent cigar with the potential of being a great cigar.
If the name was Partagas or Cohiba or something, Monte Cristo, as you're saying earlier, you might be closer to the mark. But to sell an $80 Flor de Cano,
tough ask.
That's very
tough. And you got the history of selling of it. Bring in the history, bring in the story, make sure but it's got to be a 97-point cigar straight off the bat. It can't be a 92-point cigar as a Flor de Cano. It's still a very good cigar. I just can't justify the price point. And it's not, and there are guys who don't care and they'll buy it anyway. That's fine. I mean, you wear Gucci all the time and all that sort of stuff, and you'd spend the money. But this is a cigar for this region, the Asia Pacific region. I think it's going to be a tough one. Now, are you going to see it being counted? Maybe, but I know what we have to pay. And there's only so you can go.
Those guys who will buy it anyway probably bought their 10 boxes. Normally, they may look and think, 3 or 4 boxes.
They put it away and they'll come back to it maybe in years to come. Maybe.
But will they buy their 10 boxes, or will they say, Flor de Cano? No, I'll buy 2 or 3 boxes. Yeah.
I don't want to. I'll try it. It's been really interesting marketing.
That takes a big chunk out of the market. Someone else has got to pick it up. And do we see anyone else?
PCC are relatively well heeled, and I think our good mate Ravs always says that you put them away, they'll be worth it in years to come. So, you're never going to lose money on them. But I just think it was wrong. I think this was a $40 cigar. Perfect. Yeah.
Even that's upper end. That's upper end.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, they can get away with that. But when you start throwing out pricing of $1,800 a box at 25, there's a lot of other stuff out there, people that are smoking as good, if not better, than these are.
They could use the Harvard excuse. It was a mistake. We sent out the wrong letter.
Must we? Must we? You have to get it in. There we are.
Well, I wasn't going to until I heard it was $80 now. Jesus.
Well, it's been a lovely Easter Monday, and for all our viewers across the world, and for you guys from the US who haven't been deported before next week, we'll see you then.
Oh, Jesus. Right.
So well, people, we hope. And actually, I'm in New York. This weekend.
There you go.
Robbie Fox, Hamlet's flying in, catching up with George and the Lizard guys. Looking forward to that.
Hamlet's going to get on a plane. Good luck to him.
Hammy's on a plane,
He
and
might be on a second one down to El Salvador pretty quickly.
it's a domestic flight. It'd be fine.
You think that's going to save him?
There's going to be a lot of cutting in this one. We'll see you next week. We hope.
What are the tobacco fields like in El Salvador? Hey, he's got a whole jail full of people he can teach to roll.
Stop it. Hasta luego. Cheers.